subscribe kwa Jolens, anafanya kazi fiti hapo. Na insist tena, ensure hapo una comment kwa hiyo video swali unataka ijibiwe, na our panelists will be answering that question. Na endelea kutrack hapo Facebook, mwenye anashinda so 2 airtime kutoka kwa chairman mwenyewe Samuel Mukanga. Asante sana.
Hallelujah. Niseme hallelujah ama tuseme to participate? Si ndio? Tufanye nini? Officially welcome to this session. Karibuni sana to Busia County. Guys from Kakamega, Bungoma, kama kuna team Vihiga, karibuni sana Busia County. We want to officially start off. Then after the session, you guys will be able to hear from the cohort team. Salamu too from the main chairman. I'm just the chairman Busia County. I'm a team lead Busia County. Anthony Anyara Etiang or Etiang Anyara. So kindly somebody to open with a word of prayer. Ram, na kuomba utuombe kwa leo. Tunaomba kwa sababu ya main session ya leo. Tumemaliza part 1, we are doing part 2. Tukumbuke to participate, si ndio?
Tusimame tuombe. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this. We thank you for my Heavenly Father. We ask for your guidance and protection for all the panelists, all attenders, being the moderators. My Father, it's under your guidance. Make succeed. It's in the mighty name of Jesus Christ and believe and trust. Amen.
Amen. Good. Just to start off, tafadhali panelists, Brian, Mariam, my brother, tafadhali. Oh, there is another super lady here. There's Miriam and Mariam, sorry. Tafadhali karibuni hapa, the panelists. Where is Brian? Good. To save on time, I would like to introduce the neck. Asante sana. Chairman amesema kwa sababu ya wakati tuendelee. Sina mambo mengine. Madam Joy Shama, our moderator of the day, karibu sana. We can pick it up from here. Guys, let's be open. Let's participate. Na ukumbuke, vijana bila chama ni nini? That is my question for you. Karibuni sana.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Hi, everyone. Vijana Power. Mko poa? Karibuni sana. This is Busia. Karibuni sana to the Kenya We Want live podcast. It's going to be a very open dialogue. Tunataka kukua na zile honest conversations with young people. Tunajua across this room the entire county is represented. Sini ukweli? Kuna watu wametoka huko chini Teso North, najua wako somewhere hapo nyuma. Kuna watu wametoka Matayos pia, najua wako mahali hapo nyuma. Kuna watu wametoka Nambale, the hosts wako pia, si ndio? Iko watu wa Butla, so we have representation from across the county, and I want to welcome all of you. Msikwe tight sana. This is a youthful conversation. Tutakuwa tuna discuss with our panelists na pia tunarudisha kwa audience, si ndio guys? This is a youthful conversation. Usitulete vibe ya wazee. Sawa. I think we will start by just first of all introducing our panelists of the day and also understanding what the dialogue is all about today. And I know kuna watu wako online. I'm sure mumeshare your links, ndio? So to everyone who is also joining us online, karibuni sana. this conversation is not only happening in this room, it's also happening beyond. Kuna watu wanatufollow from Mombasa, Kisumu, Central. So let us keep engaging, those of us who are online, and don't forget our hashtag is to participate. Post your thoughts, post your shares, your opinions hapo ndani as we continue with the conversation. Today our conversation is going to be in 3 segments, just so that we all understand. We will first unpack what is the Kenya we want. I'm sure nyinyi wote before you were invited here, you understood the dialogue we were coming to have, sindio? And after we unpack with the Kenya we want, then we will go to how do we realize that Kenya that we want. And after we converse and share ideas on how we will realize the Kenya that we want, then we will go to what role can political parties play in delivering the Kenya that young people want. Sawa sawa?
Yes.
So it is in 3 segments. Feel free to interact across the 3 questions. What is the Kenya we want? How are we going to realize that Kenya as young people? And what role are political parties playing in delivering the Kenya that young people want? Msisahau, this is a youth-centered conversation. Usiogope, watu wa 2 term na 1 term leo hakuna mtu ametutuma hapa. Mnaweza dhani president ametutuma to capture sura zenyu tumpeleke fanyiwe kitu, ama watu wa 1 term wamekuja kupick watu. Be free when you are giving your opinions. Sawa sawa? This is an unpartisan conversation. We are just sharing on behalf of the young people of Kenya. Are we together? Are we together kufikia hapo? Vijana power. Vijana power. So without wasting so much time, I'm going to introduce our panelists, and I think kuna microphone, so tutasikia tu sauti yao from your side. Briefly anatuambia ye ni nani, what they do, and then tukisonga hivi before we move to our questions. Sindio? Karibu sana, Brian.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Seems to be so dull. Vijana, sisi tuko na nguvu, si ndio? Lazima tuchangamke, si ndio? Hii conversation ni yetu. So lazima tukue na energy. Wale wazee wako huko bana, wakiona tuko hivi dull, si hao pia wataboeka, si ndio? Lazima tukue na energy ndio tubonge fiti. Sawa sawa? My name is Brian Omukaga. I'm a student leader. I'm a youth leader here in Nambale constituency. And this year, I was awarded as the young best leader in Busia County. Besides that, I do empowerment to young people. I move from high schools, universities, and all tertiary institutions just to offer guidance and mentorship sessions to our young people so that they can identify who they are, to know what is their purpose in life. Because our young people are just living nowadays. They don't know what they are called to do. You may find them in politics, again, doing agriculture, here and there, but I help young people to identify what they are really called to do in this life. So in a nutshell, that is who I am. I am looking forward to having a nice conversation with you so that we can participate. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much. Hakuna hata makofi ya Brian. Asante sana. Karibu.
Yes, good morning. Habari zenu? Tuko sawa? Tuko fiti? Wanasema tuko mbwekse? Tuko mbwekse? Okay, thank you so much. My name is Tobias Odhiambo. I am a student leader emeritus from Malupe Universities, and I've been working with organizations within this county, organizations that deal with advocacy and accountability of leaders. Currently, I'm a teacher in Homa Bay High School. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Makofi.
Vijana power. Vijana power. Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Marian Mulunga. I'm part of the one of the cohort that is being supported by IRI, representing Western Kenya. as well as I'm the executive director of Jenga. Jenga is an innovation hub that works with young people, and we are based in Teso. So I'm really so excited for this conversation. What a timely conversation to have as young people of Western. I think for us to just come together, Leo, and really speak about why the Kenya we want matters, I feel like that will be one of the most outstanding things for us as youth. Sawa sawa. So we are looking forward to engage. Let's participate. Tusijifinye, isi dialogue ya wazee, ini dialogue ya my youth. So to ride on the energy that you already have as young people. Thank you.
Makofi. Karibuni sana to all our panelists, to our friends who are joining us online. Karibu sana. Share your thoughts. Tutakuwa tunaangalia hiyo page yetu pia, so that we bring your perspectives into this conversation as we are going on. Before we begin, I want to also remind you guys, msisahau hii ni conversation ya mayouth, si ndio? Msisahau, unaweza ona ma lighting zimejaja hapa ukaogopa, ukaanza kunini, mjiachilie. We want to have a youthful conversation. And remember that you are not speaking for only yourself, you are speaking for the other young people who are not able to be in this room, the young farmers, the young entrepreneurs, the students huko nje, and every other youthful population that we are representing. Sawa sawa. So speak boldly, knowing that 75% of the population of this country relies on the opinion you are going to give here today. Let us begin with our first question. What is the Kenya you want to see? And I think before we get what our panelists are going to say, we had opinions from the streets. I don't know if the producer wanted to play them now or we just move. Okay, thank you so much. I think we'll be playing the street videos later on once they are set up. But to go back to our panelists, what is the Kenya you want to see? If we wake up today and ask, what is the Kenya young people want to see? And I think wacha tuanzie pande mwisho tena as we are moving this side.
All right, thank you so much for that good question. We are in a generation where everything is being politicized. Yes, you may see a politician launching an abolition block and they will call for wananchi to chant for 2 term or 1 term, not knowing that that is their right, not a privilege, you see. So for me, I envision a Kenya where our rights are not being politicized. We are given developments because it is our right, not that because it is a privilege that they are giving to us. Another thing, I envision a Kenya where no one is above the law. You may see mwananchi is being caught. Maybe he or she has stolen a kuku there in the village, but anaenda kule kwa court anachajiwa 50k. But politician kills a person, but unapata anatembea tu huru, hakuna kitu anafanyiwa. So for me, I envision a Kenya where no one will be above the law. Whether you are a politician, where you are a senior person in the government, it doesn't matter who you are not above the law. Another thing is I envision a Kenya where our voices are being heard as young people. Not we are going out to do the demonstrations, but you fear of being abducted, you fear of being killed. That's not a Kenya that we want. We want a Kenya where a youth raises their voice out in the streets to speak truth to power without any fear. They can keep that government accountable without any fear of being abducted or being killed. So that's the Kenya I envision. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. As we all seated here, we are, majority of us are youths, right? And all of us, actually, we are youths. And the reason as to why most of the youths, they protest or they reject certain governmental projects is because we feel that things are not done the right way. And that is why there's a way as youths we expect things to be done in this country. And there's also a way that the bigger people, they expect things to be done. So from where I'm sitting, I envision a Kenya where we can have free education for all. Actually, we have been listening from our leaders. We've been listening for such a long time. When campaigns comes, they use that education thing that, when I'm put into power, I'm going to ensure that there's free primary or secondary education. But upon entering that power, we doesn't experience the same things they tell us. So I'm just imagining a situation where every student or every pupil will go to school and will pay nothing. Education is the key thing here. When we are educated so well, we shall have a lot of developments within our country. Another thing that I want to talk about is about governance and accountability. That is a very big problem that is haunting our country. That if something is not done to it, then we shall lose it. Leaders are corrupt. And all of you know that leaders are corrupt. And they doesn't want accountability. That is why when youths talk, they are abducted. Because they feel that when we've done this thing, we can't account for what we've done. Now they're like, oh, you should not talk about it because it was there to benefit me. So I'm expecting a country where when leaders have been entrusted with leadership opportunities, when they work to Kenyans, they can come out and be accountable for what they have done. Another thing, you have corruption. Corruption is the big disease here. Corruption is a mess in our country. People are corrupt. In fact, even as we are corrupt. Senior, in one way or the other, today, one of us has engaged in any corrupt activity. Because currently in Kenya, corruption has become a norm of the day. Actually, it is a basic need in Kenya. Senior, corruption is a basic. How I wish that we can come up with measures that can punitively punish those who participate in corruption. I'm imagining a place where a corrupt leader will be hanged in a public so that everybody can witness. Do you really think people will be corrupt again? They will fear. So that is the type of Kenya I envision from my point. Because the big problem here, mtu asikudanganya ati hatuna pesa. Hiyo inakuwa uongo. Ati hatuna pesa, na wakati viongozi wengine wanaenda countries zingine unasikia 200 million was used. Ilitoka wapi? Walienda kukopa ili waende nje? Hapana. So it means there's money in Kenya. But now the people that we have entrusted with this money are very corrupt. So if corruption can be tackled with, I think 70% of our problems will be sorted and we shall live peacefully in the Kenya that we want. Thank you so much.
I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, sawa. Yeah, so I think I want to strongly mic 2 testing. Okay, yeah, so it's mostly said that we are 75% of the population. Like in Africa, but also even as a country, hata venye tuko hapa saizi, we are all young people. So that tells you that we've got numbers as young people. And for me, the Kenya that I really envision, the Kenya that I really want, is a Kenya where young people are ready to reclaim their power. That we need to take back our power. We need to take back our power. You get into a lot of these spaces, you engage with most of these politicians, and meaningful youth engagement imekuwa kama wimbo. Like you'd hear them mostly say, we are meaningfully engaging with young people. But that does not translate to what they're doing background. Utapata, even as they make their decisions, as they make their budgets, young people are not meaningfully included in their programs. And I want to use a typical example of counties. If you look at counties and specifically the Department for Youth, which is always like the most of a burden because you'll find there's youth, there's sports, there's culture. Try find out what kind of budget they give to the youth specifically. You'd realize they even give it like less than 1 million, and that is per financial year. And you'll be told youth issues are not a priority. Sports are a priority. Other things are a priority, but young people issues are not a priority. And I think for me, meaningful youth engagement imekuwa ni kama wimbo in most of these spaces. You get to these spaces, politicians wanatuambia, we really care so much about young people. Sahi, we see a lot of them now campaigning. We see a lot of them now wanting the youth. Nando wameona, like, our issues are very urgent. Yet the last 3 years since they got into power, walikuwa wametuacha. All the things that said watatufanyia, they're not done. So they're coming here and we are only like a year to the electioneering period. Wanaanza kututafuta. It's now urgent. The youth wako wapi, Gen Z wako wapi, Gen Z wako wapi. So I think for me, the Kenya I really want is a Kenya where we can take back our power as young people, but also understand that hatuwezi fanya peke yetu. We cannot just take our power back peke yetu. We need to align with either spaces. We need to align with people who can help us strengthen our voices and our power. Secondly, for me, I think just for us as young people to start re-strategizing. I think we've been protesting for the longest time. And maybe the big question is it working for us? Are we reaping the fruits out of the protest tumekuwa tukifanya? Or we need to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves, in case we need to realize the change in tunataka, do we still need to go the protest way? Are there other practical ways yenye tunaweza tumia as young people for us to realize the change that we want? Because probably the language of the protest, viongozi washaijua, they know about it, and there's nothing they're able to get out of it. So as much as young people tutashinda tumenda kwa street, tukitumia protest kama people, by the end of the day, it's what politicians love. Like, I wanna thrive. Nyinyi protest, but there's nothing we are going to do for you people. So I think apart from us as young people reclaiming our power, we need to probably identify which are these spaces, who are these people, which are these networks, are they parties? Are they parties that will even help us elevate our voices? Are they parties that will even help us strengthen our numbers? Are they parties that will help us kind of come together and say, if you guys have certain issues, if you guys have certain priorities, mkileta hapa katikati, parties will then help you to elevate them. Because then I don't think proper negotiation or lobbying really lies with the youth themselves. I think we really need to identify spaces where we can do lots of lobbying and negotiation, even for the Kenya that we want as a people. Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Those are very heavy reflections. I think tumezisikia, si ndio? And getting from our 3 panelists is the Kenya we want is about dignity, it's about fairness, it's about systems that work for young people, si ndio? It's about young people being co-creators, si tu mnachukuliwa wakati ya election ikifika, ati nipe Gen Z 100 tuwape 50-50, si ndio? So we want to move this conversation. I don't know if online watu wetu wana to engage somewhere or we will go back to them later. But I want to hear from our audience too. What is the Kenya you want? Ukitupe opinion, please be brief. Your name, where you come from, and tell us what is this Kenya that you envision. Tutapea tu watu kama watatu, wanne, and then we move to the next question. Because you understand we have 3 segments. Sindio? Mkono ya kwanza ndio hii. Ya pili iko wapi? Oh, tuko na microphone. Thank you so much. Mkono ya kwanza ndio hii. Afune ametoa ya pili. Where are the ladies? Stand. Uone.
I'm here. I'm Brian Etiang. I'm from Teso North. So mimi as a Kenyan youth, I dream of a Kenya where our dreams will matter more than our surnames. Our dreams. I dream for a Kenya where our dreams will matter more than our surnames, our abilities, will matter more than our connections. And so Pia, I dream of a Kenya where no young person has to leave home in search of dignity. Thank you.
Ele. Alafu ya tatu iko pale nyuma.
Hello, good morning. Good morning once again. My name is Joshua Tomulefu, at 27, aspiring to be the governor of Busia County 2027. Huku mbele. Oh, niangalie mbele huku. Nisiangalie watu yangu. Ni venye nimezoea kuangalia watu, sorry. So, the question is the Kenya we want. For me, I think I need a realistic Kenya. From my mindset myself to the mindset of the leaders that we want in Kenya. Because where the problem is my panelists wamesema that Kenya is a corrupt country. But corruption does not start in office. Corruption starts with me. I'm very corrupt. I'll choose a corrupt leader. I'm not corrupt. I won't choose a corrupt leader. So we are suffering in Kenya not because of leaders. We are suffering in Kenya because of ourselves. So I want a realistic Kenya from me as the youth today. Am I realistic to myself? Is what I'm saying in front of cameras what I can do behind the tent? That matters a lot in politics. And what I'm telling the youth today is that in this journey, like they've said, we suffer when it comes to the rallies we go. We die there, we fight a lot, but we forget that our parents did this long time ago. It's something that we are redoing. So my question to the youth today is this: are you still going to the streets or going to the offices to sort what takes you to the streets? That's the big question. So that's the Kenya I want. Thank you.
There's another hand this side. Afune, then Queen, then that lady. Alafu tusonge mbele.
Thank you. Thank you, our facilitators, for this moment. My name is Frederick Omondi from Busia Town, Burumba Ward, Matayos. So the theme here today is what is the Kenya we want, or rather what is the Kenya I want. Number one, what is the meaning of the word the Kenya we want? The Kenya we want today, it is not a slogan that we are driving maybe to make some people think that we are pushing a slogan, but we want a Kenya where our children will later come to inherit good systems, systems of governance, systems of education, and good systems of life. The Kenya we want a Kenya where your postcode will not describe you, whether you are from Busia, whether you are from Vihiga, whether you are from Kiambu. Your postcode should not describe you. Your postcode should not deny you an opportunity as a Kenyan citizen. What is the Kenya we want? We want a Kenya where our issues should not be streamlined within tribal lines. What is the Kenya we want? We want a Kenya where we are no longer going to be victims of political leaders, because these leaders that we have in this country today, our best game of protesting is the best game they want. They know, they have already known how protest works. They come in between us, make us youths fight. You know, this country today, we are living in a Kenya from today, from where we are seated. This Kenya is between 1 term and 2 term. How are we going to run away from this, my fellow youths? We must know that we should not be divided in terms of terms. Kenya is today running under 1 term and 2 term. Today, political leaders are funding our fellow youths to kill us, to beat us, to chase us, and even to destroy the little we have worked for. The Kenya we want is not the current Kenya we are living in today. We don't want to live in a Kenya where chai kidogo is the end of the business. A little young girl from a small village cannot become something because of chai kidogo. We want a Kenya where systems and good governance are the order of the day. Thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Arodelia. I'm happy and privileged to be here today. Okay, as for my case, the Kenya I want today, it is that of good governance. Like, as youth, we like where there is fairness in everything, there is no corruption, and everything is being done equally to everyone. Like, for instance, currently in Busia County, there is a lot of poor governance where there is no medical supplies. Like, our farmers, once they are ready with their farms produce, they can't take them to the markets because the roads are impassable. Now, if we have good governance, the roads will be passable, the infrastructural sector, they will be catered for, medicines in hospitals will be available, and also as youths, okay, we can't just sit there and wait for opportunities. Also, as youth, we can create opportunities so that when chances arises, because currently there are no job opportunities, we can create one for ourselves and even become a boss. You can be your own boss. That is what I envision for the Kenya I want.
Get the online perspective. Ndio huyo hapo nyuma. Karibu.
I'm Jacqueline Chirchir, and I'm a student. I'm a university student. So personally, the Kenya I want is the Kenya whereby when we go to protest about our needs, I should not fear going because I'm not sure of my security after that. And also, of late, we have been protesting, but our grievances have not been heard. So, and also, I fear going there because I don't know whether I'll be safe during the protest or after the protest. And also, as a university student, we are facing a challenge. The new funding model also, it's not fair at all. And we went to a panel with the government leaders. We talked about this, but nothing was done. So that's not basically the Kenya I want. I cannot be coming here and I say what I want. I go, they look for me, I'm not safe, nothing is done. Yes, thank you.
There was a hand this side as we prepare to hear.
Okay, thank you. My name is Miriam Nafula. I'm a youth leader. And the Kenya I want to see is, I envision a country where there is no corruption, a country where justice is upheld. I want to see a Kenya where the independent bodies like the IBC and the judiciary are independent, free from any influence. I want to see a Kenya where the citizen voices are being included. For example, where public participation matters, not only used for formalities. I also want to see a Kenya where SHA is working. I want to see a Kenya where we have affordable education system for our people. Thank you.
SHA will never work right now. Now, my name is Jotham. I'm a cohort member from Bungoma. For me, I'd love a country where there is justice for all of us. And I'll use two specific cases to illustrate my point. Juzi should be the last 3 days or so. Kuna Japan Nairobi. He was engaged by the PS. Mobilizing people of our age for a political function, right? We are told, of course I'm reliably informed, that there was some money that was given to these guys who attended the event. So, instead, the agreed amount was not the one that was given to these fellas. So, Oma was sent to go to the PS and question. Now, to our surprise, that guy was literally shot inside the car of a PS. And up to now, that guy has not resigned, right? He has not apologized, and they've even investigated a statement with the police. you rest assured nothing will be done because he's a PS. So we'll have a country where there is actually someone takes political responsibility. You know, like in the US, up to now, sahi mtu angekuwa ameresign. Lakini huyu wetu sahi ako tu. Sawa sawa. So I would love to see a country where there is that political responsibility, that both personal and political responsibility. If our leaders make mistakes, they're held to account. Another example, which is the last one. The court, there's some time back, the court issued like some conservative order saying we should not have a quarantine facility in Laikipia for Ebola. Because Ebola ilikuwa Congo. Wagonjwa wa Congo inafaa kuwa treated from that. Actually, from epidemiological point of perception, you contain disease at the site. You chukua mgonjwa ukatoa Congo kaleta Kenya. But you know what happened? Duale went ahead and allowed the construction of the quarantine facility against the court order. So like these guys actually choose which court orders to obey and which ones to disregard. So if tukiendelea hivyo, we'll be heading a wrong direction. So I don't want a country of such nature. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much. Okay. The final person.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Wafula. I'm a leader just within here. On the topic, I envision a Kenya where education systems works for its people. And I want to agree with those who have said about education. Young people, we are graduating from school with a fee balance of over 100,000. We come, we tarmac, there's no jobs. When we try to look for jobs, there's no opportunities. They are giving jobs to maybe the people they know, whom they know themselves. So for those who are not connected, we are struggling, we are tarmacking, we don't have equal opportunities. So we envision a Kenya where the systems works freely to everyone without maybe favoring maybe whoever you come from or where you come from or whoever you know. Number two, we envision a country where the law applies to equally to all. That maybe when you get into a scandal, you get accountable as just a normal person. And therefore, when that one works for us, we shall get a country where we can equally live in and enjoy the free of our law. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let us also bring in our online audience. For those of us who are following, keep. Sam, do you have?
Thank you so much. And as we are engaging kama vijana, let us remember to always, the hashtag is to participate. Hashtag is to participate. Kama kijana, ensure pale Facebook unatupata kwa The Kenya We Want, space Western Kenya. The same name is on X, formerly Twitter, ni The Kenya We Want. So kuna swali hapo yenye tuliuliza, what is that Kenya that you want? And we received great comments from the young people. Kuna wenye walisema wanataka Kenya inawapea kazi, but let us read some of the few comments to see vijana wa Busia wanasemaje. Na wewe kama kijana, rudi hapo kwa post yako, weka kitu ingine tena. Kama uko X, let us go to X, comment hapo. If you're in the room, piga picha yako, weka hapo na utag hashtag to participate. Remember that your photo is not being used for any other purposes apart from the one that we are doing today. Sawa sawa? So kama kijana, chukua selfie na rafiki yako, piga panelist wetu picha, weka hapo ukisema what's the Kenya you want, hashtag to participate. Sawa sawa? Na nilisema kama kawaida, the comment that gets the largest number of likes, vijana tunasotiana, si ndio? Sawa, nitasoma a few comments to see what the young people of Busia wenye wako huko nje wanasema vipi kwenye comments. And this is on Facebook. Okay. Kuna mwenye alikuwa anaitwa hapo just a minute. Irene Anita I want a country that really values the youth, not just by words, but by action. We need to be given opportunities because, of course, we qualify, we are educated, and if not given, we have our own way of getting to the top. Then we should be supported in positive ways that will make us grow. Hashtag to participate. I'll just select a number of comments, maybe 3 or 5, then we shall proceed. Remember, again, hashtag need to participate. Check the hashtag, take a picture, take a video, take a selfie, take a picture of our panelists, na uweke hapa na useme unataka Kenya inakaa aje. Okay? Kama unataka Kenya yenye ukiamka asubuhi unaweza kunywa uji, wewe sema hapo Kenya unataka. Kama unataka Kenya yenye ukilala hakuna kitu kinakusumbua, hiyo ndio Kenya wewe unataka. Sawa sawa. We are not taking any sides. Say the Kenya you want the way you want it. Kuna Sophie Chebon amesema I want a Kenya where youths are given opportunities without knowing someone senior in government. Sawa sawa. Kuna ule mwenye hataki hata kuwa kwa government na kuna ule mwenye anataka kuwa kwa government. Wote tunasema it's the Kenya I want. Sawa sawa. Unajiongelea wewe mwenyewe. The Kenya I want. Hashtag to participate. Tumepata mwingine anaitwa Mishmish anasema the Kenya I want is a just and fair nation where equality is upheld at all levels, where the constitutional rights are well represented. Nitasoma the second last comment. Genti Kimrenvi anasema I want a Kenya that has a cost of living that we can afford. We want industries, tech hubs and creative economies that turns our degrees and skills into real pay slips, not tenders for connected ones, but open opportunities where merit wins. Is that not an interesting comment? Kuna wenye hata hawataki mambo ya leadership. Hawa wanataka tu kuensure vijana wako na opportunities, si ndio? Na vijana wanapata hizo opportunities because wamesoma. Haya, nitasoma ya mwisho. Vijana wapendi Kiswahili. Ni kizungu tu, kizungu. Okay? Nice. Nimepata ya Kiswahili. Anaitwa Bri Maria. I want a Kenya that recognize their youths, sio kuwadhulumu. Kenya, nataka Kenya iko na utu. Sawa sawa? Na utu, kumbuka, ni kila mtu, si ndio? Kutoka kwa serikali na
everyone.
Wote tunataka utu.
My name is
Asanteni sana. Kumbuka, hashtag ni gani?
I am from Busia County.
Hashtag ni gani vijana? So take a picture, take a video, take a selfie, whatever you like. Hashtag need to participate. Na ni the Kenya I want. Asanteni sana. Back to our panelists and our moderator, Joy. Thank
you so much, Sam. And thank you to everyone who is engaging us online. And to our audience pia, your perspectives imekuwa noma sana. We have now heard about the Kenya that we want. Sindio? People are talking about fairness. People are talking about corruption. People are talking about an all-inclusive Kenya. Sindio? Now we want to understand. If this is the Kenya we want, this is the Kenya we envision, how do we get there? Sindio? Because a country will not change if we do not have strategies to get to where we want. How do we realize the Kenya that we want? Mic check. So we were saying we've had people talk about jobs, we've had people talk about education, we've had people talk about being included in these decision-making tables. We've had people talk about dignity and fairness. The system is not working for the young people. But if this is the Kenya that we want, how do we realize that Kenya? How do we move towards that Kenya? How do we get there? My brother, what do you think?
All right, thank you so much. That's a good question. And we've had a lot of concerns that we are facing as Busia people. Corruption is there, bad governance, and many more issues that we are facing as young people. So we won't be just lamenting every day, today, tomorrow, but no action is taken. We need to, number one, be organized as young people. No government institution will take you serious if you're not organized. You may chant there 1 term, 2 term, you may protest, but if you are not organized, no government institution will take you serious. So for us young people, we must first be organized. Yes, we might be protesting. You are calling yourself a youth leader, you're calling yourself an activist, but then if you're not organized, they will just take you as a normal citizen. Number 2, we've mentioned of corruption, but my brother here said corruption starts with us. It starts at home, me and you. Your mom anataka kuosha vyombo lakini anataka kununulia switi kwanza ndio uoshe hiyo vyombo. That is corruption. And in our roads currently, saizi tutoka hapa uende Nambale, utafika pale watakushika kule nyuma. Wanasimamisha matatu, wanapeana hiyo 100 bob pale kwa dirisha. That is corruption. We have normalized corruption as just a normal thing to us. We are taking this thing as ni kama imekuwa kitu ya kawaida. Not knowing hiyo 100 bob, hiyo 20 bob, ikienda huko juu ukiona CS ameiba 100 million unaanza kupiga nduru. Lakini si ulipeana hiyo sisi tulipeana hiyo chwani. Unaona, ikianza na wewe kataa, wacha uingie hapo na hiyo gari yako, kama imeharibika twende kotini tumaliziane huko ina justice way. Si kupeana hiyo 100 bob na unaenda pale mbele una cause accident. So inaanza na sisi wenyewe. Tusilie tu mambo na corruption na sisi ya to take part in that. Number 3, government response to budget. Government response to policy. Government response to these things. If we young people are absent in those forums, there's no way we can be heard. How many of us have attended the CIDP forum, public participation, and the ADP public participation? How many of us? Just by show of hands. Let's be sincere. The ADP and the CIDP. Ama tujue hizo ni nini? Jamani, our youth, kama tuwezi enter in those forums, alafu tunalia healthcare ni mbaya, education ni mbaya, tutasaidiwa aje jamani? Kama tuwezi attend the county integrated development plan, public participation, that is where a 5-year plan is being discussed in the county to know how much is being given to the healthcare, the agriculture, the education. If you are absent there, tutajuaje manze tumewekewa 5 million kwa advocate ya youth? Tutajuaje? So it starts with us. Enter your public participation, enter your policy making forum. Know how things are being discussed. The budget forum, know how those things are being discussed. Then from there, we can raise our voices. Tutasema, tulienda pale, tuka raise this and this and these issues, but government imekata kutusikia, si ndio? But tukiwa absent, then tupige kelele huko nje, hiyo hawezi kusikiza. So manze, from this year, make sure you know when is the ADP public participation being done in your sub-county. When is the CIDP being discussed in your sub-county? Recently, I attended one. But this is how this thing is being done. You see, wanaenda huko kwa kijiji, wanachukua wale wazee wenye hata hawajui vitu ni nini. Unajua, it's a big document. See at your 2-page document. It's a big document. So, hata hujasoma, wanachukua wale wazee wanawaambia utaenda pale useme hii na hii na hii na hii na hii, unapewa 500 yako. I once stood there, I raised my concern, they shutted me down. Walininyamazisha, wakasema I don't know what I'm talking about, because wanangoja hiyo 500 waende nayo nyumbani. So it is important. Sisi kama vijana tukiwa wengi huko, you see I was alone as a youth there, but kama tungekuwa wengi ingekuwa very easy to amplify our voices. But sasa tukikaa nyumbani uona ngoja wakuja kuchukua huko na gari wakupeleke kwa hiyo forum manze. Alafu kitu ya mayouth tumezoea ni hizi handouts. Unataka upewe hata transport kuja kwa attend kitu kama hiyo, na ni kitu cha kubenefit as a youth manze. Sisi kama mayouth tuamke ndio baadaye tusilie huko, si ndio? So yangu ni hayo, na I hope you are going to change. Thank you so much.
Very heavy point. But naona umeijibu before hata na si wengine hatukujua. It means sisi we are not taking in the information about what is happening. Thank you. If we want to be included, we have to make sure we are on those tables. Si ni ukweli? As we move on to the next panelist, let me just ask, we have had so many aspirations from our young people. But how do these issues now move from being frustrations, from being complaints in the community to becoming public priorities that governments must respect and respond to? How do we move from complaining? How do we package our frustrations so that the government feels the need to respond to it?
Thank you so much. We've actually talked about the Kenya we expect to have, the Kenya that I and you want, a safe Kenya for each and every one of us. And after that, we've dug deep into how can we realize these things that we want. And now the question comes, now as youths, how are we expected to channel our communication to the government so that all those things that we want, we may get them? Actually, for over a long time, we've known that our country is a democratic country. A country of the people, a country where we have got the expression, the freedom of expression. When you feel things are not right, the best way that we show it is through going to the streets. We protest and we say no. We don't want it to happen this way. This is how we want things to happen. But actually, we can say that the systems have failed us. The systems have failed us. That is why sometimes the outrage that she is saying comes in within. Let's talk about the parliament. In the past days, the 2026 finance bill was voted in. But out of curiosity, and I don't know what, the 197 MPs decided to abscond the voting. So what does it signify us? That we channel our communication to our leaders. But because of fear of the unknown, the leaders, they fail to implement the policies that we expect them to tell the government executives. I'm imagining, what is the worst thing that could have happened to the MPs that absconded the voting of the finance bill? What the worst thing that could have happened to them? Nothing. If they could have voted for those things, you could have been yes or no. We could have known where you stand with the people. Penye umesimama the common mwananchi. Lakini you find now, in this scenario, they decided to abscond because some of them, they are not sure whether they are in government or not in government. So with us youths, we feel those are not the right people for us to channel our issues to. Currently, we had got the National Youth Council. The Gazette notice was given in April. Every youth was participating actively so that they may become delegates and represent their various constituencies or wards in the National Governing Council. But you know what happened? It was yesterday. The memo comes out that we've now postponed the elections until further notice. They doesn't want to involve youths into the decision-making tables because we thought, according to the questions that have been asked, that through that avenue, all the issues that we have as youths, we could have represented them through that avenue, the National Youth Council. But you see, there has been a mess. 104 million was given in the name of using this money to educate the youths on how NYC is being done. But that education only, the civil education, was done online. It was done online. And we presume that the 104 million was used online in educating us about the NYC. Now the money is over and we are told there are no elections. And you know, there are many youths, like some of us here, who had spent a lot of resources so that they may get those positions, so that they may be in a position to represent their fellow youths from their various residential places.
the government failed us. So up to now, we doesn't know when will be the NYC elections be done. Because we were very sure and we were entrusted and we had read very seriously about the NYC. And we were sure all the grievances, our aspirations, the Kenya we want was going to be shown through that NYC. It is dead. What is our next step? We doesn't trust the judicial system. You've been hearing how the politicians are manipulating these individual organizations, these civil individual organizations. When you go as a common wananchi to present your aspirations, who are you for them to listen to you? Who are you? Then as youths, we are troubled. We are troubled. That question that I was asked, how can we channel our questions? The only way is to have a one-on-one conversation with the president. Akuje kwa ground, mwambie bro, kuja tu kwa ground, tukuambie hizi vitu. Because when we talk through our MPs, azifiki. Sindio? When we talk through our leaders in the executive, azifiki. Each and every politician, they are busy. They are busy talking of their own missions. But the youths have been sidelined. So I think that question, I will not answer it correctly because the avenues that we knew before are not working for us. They are not working for us. Unless we think of something else. But the NYC thing was a plan for us. It is now dead. We don't know what next. Thank you so much.
Wow. The way he has responded to that question is what is going to lead me to the next question. That the pathway enye tulikuwa tumetegemea kama vijana ya NYC clearly is not working. Sindio? Clearly tumeona the vehicle we wanted to use to present our issues. Tutangoja kidogo before your vehicle ikuwe stable kuendeshwa kubeba issues za vijana. Sini ukweli? But before unpacking the question kabla panelists hajatuambia, let me just go straight to that question. Marian, when young people say they want a better Kenya, who actually has the power to make many of these decisions? If they say tunataka power, where does this power sit at and who is influencing? Because we cannot say we want to be on the decision-making tables and we don't know where these decisions are made. Sindio? Tunashout tu uko nje, hatutaki kukua kwa menu, lakini hatujui jikoni ya kuunda hii menu iko wapi. Sindio? So where does this power sit and how then do we ensure that young people are on those tables? Karibu.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I want to first and foremost strongly agree with what my fellow panelists have said. First around the National Youth Council, which I think if you look at NYC 5 or 10 years ago, we had a very vibrant NYC. I think for those of us who are millennials in our 30s, you can agree with me that we had a very strong NYC. And it's only NYC that the government, both at the county and national level, ni hao wanasikizwa. We can't go as Busia youths. We can't go as individual organizations. Like it's constituted. It's within the constitution that NYC ni sauti ya vijana, and it's supposed to now present the issues for young people. So I think it's really quite unfortunate that we've received last-minute conversation that NYC is no longer happening, elections have been postponed, na viongozi walikuwa washafanya kazi ground, and we had seen most of our young people really going for these seats, which I feel like it was a step towards the right direction. Secondly, to just answer the question around where decisions being made, where policies being made, I think one thing we need to acknowledge as young people, we need to acknowledge that we have a strong youth movement. We have a very vibrant youth movement in Kenya. Like if you see what happened in 2024 and what has progressively happened 2 years later, then we all can agree that tuko na power, sindio? But how then do we sustain this power? How do we sustain the kind of energy that us, the young people, have in Busia, in Kisumu, in Vihiga, all across all the counties in Kenya? And there was a point on public participation and why young people, we are not there. I think Missy Mo utatupea siri, because we've been sold the narrative kwamba we all attend the young people are running away from those spaces because it's for ticking off the boxes. But I think it's good to really know that you've consistently been in that space. So itakuwa fiti pia you just share with us, what is it that is working? What is this narrative that sisi kama mayouth lazima tuivunje, so that we start getting into those spaces? Because then those are some of the platforms that decisions are made. Those are some of the platforms that our policies are made. Brian just spoke about CIDP. Like, it's a whole 5-year plan ya counties. But if we as young people are going to say, maze, apo tukishow up, our voices are not being heard. Apo tukishow up, it's just for the ticking of the boxes. A whole 5-year would be traded off just for us not being in that space. So I think I want to challenge all of us, starting with myself, because I think sijatenda hata mingi, it's just very few. Let's start embracing public participation, because that is where powerful decisions are made regarding budgets, regarding programs, regarding any other priority that us as young people want. So I think for me, in terms of policies and decisions, let's look at public participation and let's start embracing. Misimo, even if you can start a series of why young people need to be part of those spaces, just like simplify it in a way that youth kama sisi na wengine wenye wako hapa ndani, we can start engaging in those platforms. Because tukiwa 10, tukiwa 20, tukiwa 30, then we elevate our voices. Let's take, for example, the Department of Youth at the county level hapa. I don't know what you guys think. I don't want to politicize the conversation, but we all know that we are not having a very functional Department of Youth at the county level. But because, I think the reason could be, pia sisi tumejidistance. Pia sisi tumejidistance. Pia sisi tuna believe hatuwezi call out the chief officer, and we cannot call out the CC, and we cannot call out the entire department. I think it's high time for us to acknowledge that first we have the power, but misimo peke yake haiwezi kuwa na hiyo power. So we have to come together, we have to get into these spaces, we have to call out and use any other meaningful strategies that we can use. Protest is their game, they understand it and they cannot get it. Let's re-strategize on how we do our protest. Secondly, of course, it's about political parties. A lot of decisions happen at the political parties level. And I think he was giving an example of the finance bill in 2024. I don't think waheshimiwa waliamka tu na kwenda kuvote no or yes. I do not think. There were many months of lobbying at the party level. Sisi indo njia tunafuata. Sisi indo njia tunataka kufuata. We want to vote yes for the finance bill. We want to vote no for the finance bill. Like, you don't just wake up. It's because of the party you're affiliated to. So unaingia kwa the assembly knowing that this is my party's position. And so by the end of the day, you realize even MPs as individuals, their decisions do not count. Most of the time, what counts is the party position. They get into that house knowing ODM imesema hii, UDA imesema hii, DCP imesema hii, DAP imesema hii, na hii ndo njia tutafuata. So I think one of the key platforms that young people, we need to start embracing. I know for a very long time tumesema party CA to status quo high to favor, but the reality is that is where a lot of these things happen. Power is centered in political parties. Power is centered in party manifestos. So how do we ensure that as young people, our priorities, our issues, we are adequately represented in those political spaces? So I think for now, that is what I would like to just share around. How then do we move from our energy, our good energy, to then really influence?
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mariam. Applause from our audience. Vijana power. Vijana power. So far mnasikiaje? So far mnasikiaje? Conversation inasonga. Ina flow. Karibu tunafika on the same page. Sasa ndio tumefika kwa climax ya hii conversation yetu. Because when we start talking about how we realize the Kenya we want, it means now tunaanza kuweka mikakati on behalf of our young people that if this is the direction we want to take, then what are the pathways that will get us to that vision that we want to see our young people? Si ni ukweli? Now from the conversations in this room, we are all agreeing that if young people want to influence leadership, if young people want to influence political participation and governance, then they have to seriously understand the role that political parties play. Sindio? Because most of the time you find the young people who wanaingizwa kwa structures za political parties masaa ya siasa. Kama saa hii mmesikia kwa watu wakitafuta young people waingie kwa political parties, hamjasikia, si ndio? Ama nyinyi mmesikia? I could be answering for you na kumbe huko nje mna organize. But when we will get to closer to campaign period, watu kina nani watakujiwa? Kina nani watakujiwa? Wakitaka watu wa kupanda caravan ya kudance, si ni sisi? Ama si sisi? Wakitaka vijana wa kupigana na mipini ni kina nani? Si ni sisi? So one thing we have to understand from today's conversation is that we have to move away from kukua tu recipients wa handouts and the euphoria that comes with campaign period, and move to actually understanding the role that political parties play and ensuring that we are actually playing a heavier role hapo ndani ya hizo political parties. Vijana power. Vijana power. Mtu asiende huko nje akanikuota ati mimi nilisema watu waingie chama fulani ama chama fulani. We are saying that in Kenya there are so many political parties, sindio? And this conversation that we are having here today is just to understand that if young people actually want to position themselves in this era where unasikia department ya vijana, PS wa vijana anatoa gazette notice ya kusema NYC election has been postponed and we are closer to the election year. That means we have to find alternative ways where our voices are going to be heard as young people. Sindio? Before nirudishe hii microphone to the audience, let me bring out the perspective sasa ya the climax of our conversation today, so that by the time microphone inakuja kwa audience mtakuwa mmeshikanisha up to the third question. Sindio? Our panelists, thank you so much for the reflections that you have given on how we realize the Kenya that we want. But now, let us move to the heart of today's conversation. If young people want jobs, they want dignity, we want to fight corruption, we want to hold our leaders accountable, then we must ask ourselves, where are these leaders recruited? Who makes these leaders? Much as we do the voting, but where are the structures that these leaders abide to? And how then can we fix ourselves in that structure ya political parties? So our question or our third segment of conversation is just going to understand how can political parties help deliver the Kenya that we want as young people. And as I go to try and simplify the question, I'll just ask you, Brian. Many young people only think about political parties during elections. But what do political parties actually do beyond campaigns? Because we are talking political parties as vehicles or platforms for reforms for young people. If we want to encourage our young people in Busia County to join these political parties, what do these political parties do beyond campaigning for their candidates?
Thank you for the question. But before I answer the question, may I know how many of us are in political parties? Just by show of hands. You have registered as a member in a political party. How wengine
Usiogope. If you are in a political party, hatutauliza chama gani.
Yes, hatukuulizi chama gani. Just raise your hand. Vizuri tuone. Hamko sure? Si ile unalipa 10k ya mara moja, just registering using a USDT code. Majority of us are in political parties. That is superb. And as young people, this is the vehicle that take these politicians to those institutions, the parliament, the Senate. We have the county assemblies. these are the vehicles that take these politicians there. The moderator has asked a good question, that beyond just the campaigns, what role do political parties play? Number one is they sponsor these candidates. Political parties play a key role in sponsoring people to vie in those positions. From next year, you're going to see a lot of people coming up to vie. They're going to join different political parties. And this political party will play very key role. They will help them during their campaigns. They will help them to move up and down. Number two, they create manifestos. So you have heard of manifestos. Every politician normally come with their own manifesto. Currently, what what Ruto is using at the point is the better bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It was his manifesto during the campaigns. So whatever he's implementing at this point is what he was using to campaign, what he was running up and down, telling you of affordable housing, the economic empowerment. This is what is being implemented at this particular point. And the question again comes to us. Have you ever sat down in those forums where those manifestos are being made? That's a question that we need to ask ourselves as young people. Because if you are not going to join those political parties, in these political parties, you have the youth leagues, where young people are being accommodated. Their issues are being addressed. So if we young people, we are claiming that education system is not working, we are not given enough money for youth empowerment programs, we are not having opportunities as young people, but then during those manifesto forums, you are not there. So I cannot blame myself because I was not present, you see? So as we young people, we must first understand how are these things being made. The president atokangi tu huko from anywhere, anaanza kusema anataka kujenga affordable housing, anataka kujenga barabara. Ilianza huko chini before aingie kwa kiti. Ilianza akitaka kuanza campaign. They sat down, akaanza kusema this is what we envision when we enter into power. The moment waliingia huko is now they implemented. So mimi sitalaumu because kitu ilikuwa already set. So hatuwezi laumu mpaka the next election. So as we young people, to may understand this thing inaanzia kwa political parties. Na ikianza kwa political, si wewe kujoin na kutulia hapo. Join that political party, be very active. Wherever every forum is being called out, young people tutoke. We are having a lot of trainings going on in political parties and to strengthen the power of youth voices in these political parties. But we young people hatupatikani. Tunaacha millennials ndio wanataka kuingia huko. So it's just a call for us to make sure that our grievances, our issues are being addressed. We need also to bring someone who is youthful. Tusipeleke huko mzee mwenye asha retire for 70 years, 60 years, unataka atu govern. Sio haiwezekani. Hawezi tuelewa juu, hawezi understand vitu sisi tunapitia huku chini. So for us young people, we must also come out. Tutoke, we vie in those positions through those political parties. The moment we vie, na mtu asikudanganya hakuna ati lazima ukuwe na do. Hiyo ni uongo. We have a lot of politicians, a lot of leaders currently who are in those positions. They never had that money to campaign, but they had the vision, they understood people, and they really worked hard, wakajituma kwa watu. But wewe ukisema ukikaa hapo useme hakuna do, itakuwa ngumu. Manze tutokee. Tumeambiwa hapa about the NYC, it was shattered, but imenyamazishwa for long, but we are saying our victory was just postponed. We are coming back stronger to make sure that our voices are being heard. But before that, let's join political parties. Kwanzia leo, enda kwa your social media or your website, just search any political party that you are interested in joining. Read their ideologies, what their vision is, their mission, and if zinaendana na zako, you can opt to join. from today, ndio usiku unalalamika huko kuna gava inafanya hii kitu na wewe kuchangia, si ndio? So manze to join political parties, and from there our voices are going to be heard. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brian. That is a very good perspective. I wanted to move to Tobias, but before we do that, we had collected perspective from the streets. I don't know if the producer is ready. We want to hear. You see, our voices
Hi
matter
everyone,
in this room.
my name is
Our
Jeshama
voices
Juang.
matter
I am
also
from Busia
online.
County,
I know our
a
online
youth
audience
leader
is
and
very
also a
active.
political
And we
enthusiast.
also have
Today we
voices
are
that
here
were
to
represented
have
from the
a
streets.
forum with the
So it
young
would be
people,
nice if we
just to
can.
understand their opinions on political leadership, youth leadership, governance, and also how they can use political parties as reforms.
I think we have a problem with the sound.
I'm Frida Akinyi, a youth lead from Busia County, and today we're just here to get insights of the youth of what the Kenya they want. So Niaje, what's the kind of Kenya do you want?
As a youth, basically,
I'm Frida Akinyi, a youth lead from Busia County, and today we're just here to get insights of the youth of what the Kenya they want. So Niaje, what's the kind of Kenya do you want?
as a youth, basically, I want a Kenya that we youth are free to doing anything as long as it's under the law, and a Kenya that growth is seen gradually kwa nini yetu, kwa what do I say, the government processes for our benefit in the future.
Nawe kama youth unaona ni vitu gani unaweza fanya kama mwana youth so that you get the Kenya that you want?
The best thing I can do is to encourage our fellow youths to come in, because it's time that the bads we see in the government have to be corrected, and they can't be corrected outside office. So we stand as youths, go to these elective positions so that if it is tunapigania tuanze kuzisort wenyewe.
Okay, thank you. Unaweza kufanya ndio upate hiyo Kenya gani ungependa kuona?
Okay, mimi kama kijana nataka kuona ile Kenya ambayo niko na huru ya kuongea kama kijana, niko na huru ya kufanya jambo ambayo inaweza kusaidia jamii kama kijana.
Na ni nini unaona we kama mwana youth unaweza kufanya ndio upate hiyo Kenya ambayo waitaka?
Okay, mimi kama kijana ya kwanza ningependa kuhusishwa kwa hizo mikutano za viongozi niweze kutoa hoja yangu. Pia nataka kupatiwa ile uhuru ya kuweza kujieleza kama kijana.
Asante sana.
Karibu.
Hi. So what's the Kenya that you inspire, or what's the Kenya that you want as a youth?
Okay, for me as a youth, I envision a Kenya where we have a voice, we have time to speak, not just speaking, but we fear abduction, fear killing. I want a Kenya where I can be heard and I can petition what I have in mind, not that fearing of being abducted or being killed.
Okay, and you as a youth, what do you think that you should do so that you can get the Kenya that we want or you want?
Okay, for me, number one is, as youths, we must first be organized, because this government won't hear us if we are just talking but we are not organized. We must first organize ourselves. Then number two, we must attend those forums where budgets are being discussed, policy are being met, so that we also have input to put in those forums.
Thank you so much for your insights. Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello, madam.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
So, what's the Kenya that you want as a young person?
Actually, as a young person and a citizen of Kenya at the moment, I want a Kenya that ensures and enhances youth inclusivity in every action and decision making in the Republic of Kenya.
And what do you think as a young person you should do so that you get this Kenya that we want?
As a result of that, everything in this republic relies on governance. So, youths must be considered as much as they are not. When you have a look at the representation of the youths in our republic, it's actually low. So, the best we can do is to ensure and raise voices as youths to ensure to have a proper representation in the governance or at the national level to ensure all our desires are met and are acquired as youths.
Sasa mrembo, thank you so much for your insight. Unakaa vizuri. What's the Kenya that you want? Ni Kenya gani unataka?
Okay, I want a Kenya that leaders will be listening to us as youth, leaders who will lend us a listening ear, and who will involve us in their decision making.
Na wewe kama mwana youth, unaona ni kitu gani waweza kufanya so that we get this Kenya that we want?
Okay, mi kama mwana youth, kitu naweza fanya ni kuvote diligently so that nijue mtu napigia kura ni mtu mwenye ataniserve vizuri na mwenye ataendelesha generation yetu ikuwe fiti.
Asante.
Karibu.
Habari ya leo.
Mzuri.
Ningependa kukuuliza ni Kenya gani unaitaka?
Ni Kenya hii tutumaini.
Kenya tulivu. Na wewe ungetaka kufanya nini ndio tupate Kenya hii ambayo unaitaka ambayo ni tulivu?
Kenya ambayo ndio kila ambacho tutafanya ni kile tutafanya. Kile kwa tunakifanya la wakati.
Okay. Asante. My name is Frida Kinya, and you are here in Ambale to discuss with the youth what's the kind of Kenya they want to see. The Kenya they want to see, and what, as the youth, what should they do so that they can find the Kenya they want to see. We are here to also educate the youth and also to tell them about the political parties and how can political parties be platforms for reforms that can be used by youth so that you can get the Kenya that you want. Thank you.
Wow, Makofi. We've had our perspective from the streets. Simesikia venye vijana wanasema the Kenya they want and how we can realize that Kenya. Before tuendelee na panelists wetu, we were talking about, or we were trying to unpack the role political parties can play in ensuring that young people, or in ensuring that we deliver the Kenya we want. Sindio? Nataka kurudisha hii microphone yangu kwa audience. Tusikie pia nyinyi your perspective. We had an extra microphone somewhere. Great. Tusikie perspective. Tutaanzia pale kwa Irene, Oscar Merekek. Tukisonga hivi, we uliongea, acha tuchukue watu wengine. Nimeona hapo, and then we move here. Let's go with the first four.
Jenny. My name is Baraka, and hapo kwa political parties I tend to contradict with you people. I believe we don't need political parties. Sisi kama Gen Z. From my perspective, 2024 worked. We wanted the finance bill to be stopped, and it was stopped. we come from different communities. I believe hapa ndani we have people who are on the government side and the one-term people. So when we form political parties, we will have divided thoughts. The only thing that can help us is the NYC, the National Youth Congress. And the only role that political parties can play right now is to push the government to actually implement it. To push the government and ask them, why are we not having the elections for the NYC? But if we divide our thoughts in that, wewe uko na other thoughts kwa party yako, and for me, I see parties as selling your souls to the party leader. You will be tied to the party leader. When the party leader says, leo tuna vote yes, itakuwa ngumu for you to question and ask, hey, why are we voting yes? The same thing that we are seeing with our MPs right now, that wakiambiwa they are going to vote no, they will vote no. When they're told they're going to vote yes, they will vote yes. But if we have one independent organization like the National Youth Congress, where we channel our needs, our wants for us as the youth, it will be easy for us to actually have our goals achieved. And another thing on the parties, those parties are trying us. The way I've just said that tuko na divided thoughts. Easy divided thoughts. Yes, wewe unataka ku push Gen Z ainuliwe, but ule pia kuna different thought enye anataka ikuwe pushed. But tukidivide these thoughts into 5 different political parties, inakuwa so hard for us to vote. But if we have that one independent organization, tunaweza unda our own bill as the youth, tunataka this and this and this. Then now we ask the political parties, what are you going to do? What is your stand? Sisi kama Gen Z metuweka wapi? But so long as the political parties don't do that, sisi tutarudi streets na tutafaitia country. Thank you.
Irene, thank you very much for that perspective.
Hi, good morning. My name is Irene Anita from Nambale, Nambale Township Ward. We've talked about the Kenya that we want, and mine is just to also say that we as youths, we're also supposed to do something that is supposed to lead us to the Kenya that we want. We're not supposed to only talk about our leaders. Sisi pia tunafaa tufanye kitu yenye tutataka hiyo Kenya yetu ikue. I just remembered March na April kulikuwa na hiyo enhanced continuous registration. Tulikuwa ground tunajaribu kuregister watu wakuwe kadi. And you're meeting a youth.
Where's the other micro?
But we have to beg a youth akuje ajiandikishe kama mpiga kura. Sasa kama hautaki kukua kadi, you don't want to register as a voter, tutapiga aje kura? Mimi sitaenda kupiga kura peke yangu na ilete change. We have to go like sisi wote. What do you mean unasema tafuta mheshimiwa akuje atupatie kitu ndio turegister tukua piga kura? This is your right. We need to know our rights. Tuchukue kura, tupige, tutoe hao watu wenye hatutaki wakuwe, wenye wanafanya tunakuwa na Kenya yenye hatutaki. So as youths, tukue na groups, na hizo groups tufanye vitu important. Tuambiane tunafaa tufanye nini, sio tu groups za fun peke yake. So let's register as voters. Let's encourage also other youths to register as voters. Let's go and vote for the people that we want. Kwa sababu politics ina shape Kenya yenye tunataka. And if we don't vote, then hatutakuwa tunafanya anything.
Thank you so much. Gen Z wanasema hao waanze na kushika kura. Kiongozi wa Teso South.
Vijana power. Vijana power. Vijana mko kadi. Mko kadi? Asanteni kabisa. Mimi kwa majina naitwa Oscar Toro Merekek. I'm Teso South Youth spokesperson. Nashukuru sana kwa facilitators wetu kutukaribisha kwa function kama hii ya kujadiliana kama vijana tujue the way forward. So mimi nashukuru hapa Busia County kwa wageni wetu. Hapa ni Nambale sub county na hapa Busia tuko na sub county 8 na tuko na constituencies 7. Hii mbona tuko na constituencies 7 na tuko na sub county 8? Because tuko na in Teso South tumedivide, tuko na constituencies, tuko na sub county hapo sasa inaitwa Teso Central ambapo IBC bado ija identify kama constituency. Mimi nitaenda kwa points kama vijana wenzangu. Sisi vijana tunatumiwa vibaya ikifika wakati wa campaign. Na sisi tunasema 2027 lazima yetu tupewe kwanza yetu kwa hiyo decision making table. Na tusipokuwa included kwa hiyo decision table, sisi tutachoma hiyo nyumba penye mtakuwa mmeenda ku make hizo agreement zenu, na lazima affairs zetu kama vijana tutakuwa hapo. Nikimalizia, kuna watu wa Budalangi hapa? Kuna watu wa Budalangi? Samia? Wako? Asanteni kwa facilitators. So huyu sister anga amesema ukweli about IBC. I was in charge of Teso South. Nilikuwa kwa hiyo mobilization na mimi nilikuwa coordinator wao. Kusema ukweli, watu wetu tunaomba serikali itenge pesa ya civic education. Kuna watu wetu hawaelewi kazi ya MP. Kuna watu wetu hawaelewi kazi ya governor. Kuna watu wetu hawaelewi kazi ya area MCA. Kuna watu hawaelewi kazi ya president. Na sisi tunaomba serikali pia waone kwa budget inakuja, watenge pesa, watafute wale watu wanaweza enda kwa ground, wapeane civic education kwa mayouth wenzetu. Si namna hiyo? Mimi sina mengi, bado tunaenda kugongana hapo mbele tukijadiliana, na lazima tutapata solution. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana. Also, as you stand to speak, kindly utusaidie tu uangalie mbele so that our cameramen wasistruggle sana. Angalia mbele so that the main camera is capturing you, and also this one. Nataka nikupee wewe, alafu nipe Elias, alafu nikuje hii upande. Naona kuna watu wameinua mkono sana. Wewe utatuambia yako in 30 seconds. Tulianza na wewe. Acha tupe wenye hawajaongea alafu 4 more people. Alafu tusonge mbele. Ndio
Okay.
Sasa tuko kwa climax ya conversation. 1 minute each, 1 minute.
Hi everyone. So I go by the name Stacy. I'm Stacy Robert Navibia from Matthias. And first I would like to take you back to discussing how we are going to achieve the Kenya that we want. And I feel at this time, Goonism is something that has become very rampant, and our youth are the ones at stake. And the best way to overcome this and to build the Kenya that we want is by overcoming the goon economy. Political leaders and most of our leaders in general have a tendency of using young people to go and disrupt peaceful protests, to go and manipulate elections, to go and even disrupt meetings that become meaningful, that in other way could have become very meaningful to us as young people. So I think it's very important that us as youth learn to and understand that being in a political party does not mean that that party is entitled to making you put your life at risk, put the life of others at risk just because you belong to that political party. And yes, sisi wote tunatafuta pesa, tukatai, lakini minimal handouts are very unnecessary and very, very cheap compared to the lives at cost. The role that I think political parties should play and can play is teaching and making the people and young people in their political parties understand that they are not tools of violence, they are not tools of disruption, and instead they're meant to educate or be an example to other fellow youths and understand that in one way or another, being peaceful, following the right protocols when it comes to advocacy, when it comes to saying what you want and delivering it, you can use very, very many ways and various ways. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Kindly remember kuangalia the main camera. Alafu 1 minute so that hawa watu wote wanne wenye nimewapea chance waongee. We were going to Elias, then we move this side. Oh, ukitoka hapo upe Elias. Microphone inaenda na venye tumesema. Elias anapea pale nyuma, akimaliza anapea Sophie, then we continue. Si ndio?
So, hi everyone. My name is Belita. I've come to support in Busia from Bungoma. So for me, the Kenya that I want, as a youth, I want a Kenya that rewards merit instead of access or who you know. I believe all of us here have gone to school, we've studied, we've attained our various qualifications, we've invested in our education. But however, when it comes to opportunities and job opportunities and other resources being given, it's unajua nani ndo anajulikana. So for me, the Kenya that I would want is a Kenya that rewards merit instead of access. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. Actually, my sister has touched where I wanted to touch. For me, the Kenya that I want is about opportunities. And for me, I'll just touch on governance again. As youths, as we are choosing leaders, as we are doing voting, tusiseme tu tuko kadi na hatuna kadi yenyewe, hatutashika kadi. Tunapiga kelele kwamba tuko kadi na hatujashika kura. We'll not have a chance to vote. And when you're voting in some leaders, let's exercise what we call professionalism, whereby we have aspirants who are youth. Youths are also engaging in leadership. Like my brother Mlefu here is aspiring to be the governor of Busia County, which is something very nice. I know when he becomes a governor, he will exercise professionalism. For me, I've been following Senate proceedings from time to time. And what I realized is the other time in the CPSC, that is Senate County Accounts, Public Accounts Committee, where the senators were asking governors, I think I'll just mention a few. I'll say, for example, in Busia here, names were being read and the governor and the board were being asked the qualifications of those particular people in the board. And what surprises me most is somebody is holding an office. There's not that professionalism, you see. Kuna hiyo nataka, as youths, we want that transparency and transparent and merit-based. If you're hiring somebody, be it in private sector or public sector, let it be merit-based. Someone is having, for example, someone is having a degree in let's say hospitality or tourism, but he is holding an office of he's in treasury. What are you doing in treasury? So for me, again, generally in Kenya, for me, the Kenya that I want is let's have cabinet secretaries. For example, a minister for health should be a doctor. A minister for education should be a teacher by profession. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I have 2 more people before we engage our online audience. 3 more people. Yes, please. Naishikilia tu. Karibu.
Asante. My name, I'm Justin from Butula. What I wanted to contribute is one or two things. First of all, I want to appreciate the conveyor of the meeting. Nimekutana na classmate wangu for the last 16 years. I also have my classmate here mwenye tunafanya naye maneno ya civic, civil societies is a good thing. One thing I want to talk is about the political parties. My fellow youth, I am still youthful. There is power in political parties. You have seen the mandamano that you have been doing. We say that we are partyless, we are whatever. Everybody has come to their own homes. For the example of the Marara Kebaso, he was the UDA agent sent in the mandamano. You have seen this from ODM guy. Anaitwa nani huyo kijana mwingine? Kasamuel. Kila mtu anarudi kwao. Sisi wenyewe tusipojipanga. There is power in political parties. Since 2012 I have been very active in political parties. We know the politics of the political parties. Tusidanganyana hapa tukasema we don't want to do. All political parties, they have the structures. This is the high time we need now to force our to be in the table. If you cannot be on the table, let's break that table. Wacha tuvunje hiyo meza. Tusingoje kupanga kwa siasa ati wewe ni mtu wa kuenda kudance kama politician amekuja kukuhaya kwa caravan. The most caravans watu wanasahaulika. After the campaign you have gone. Tukue na share yetu before. So I am very much happy to see our fellow youth anataka kusimama for governor. Lakini youth wenzenyu mtasema uko na nini? Hello? Wengine wanaenda kukuuliza tuachie chai. It's a high time to participate. We have so many organizations that are advocating for the youth voices. Why can't we come together, these organizations zote? We identify the youth even here in Busia. We do the piloting in the Busia County. Tutafuteko tu hata kama ni wards 10 out of 35, we sponsor these youth to hakikisha they have gone to county assembly. There is problem in the county assembly here. If vitu yenye tutakutana hapa tufanye nini? We need to do things that they are reality, practical things. To sponsor vijana wetu wasimame wapitishwe kwa assembly. I want to concur with our fellow Mr. Tobias. The last time we did the election in the NYC, it was 2012. I was also elected in Butula. After that, there is no election that has been done. The same problem, the same games that the government is playing will be there. The government is fearing now you do election because they have done a survey. They have known that a lot of youths they are enlightened. They cannot sponsor you to get that office. Now election is next year. You will be problems to the government. I believe that the next election will be done after the general election. Put this to the bank. Watakuambia pesa imeenda online, sijua ametumia 3 million. Do you think that 300 millions can be just done on the online engagement peke yake? The issue of the voter registration. We fellow youth, we don't go to vote. Hatuendi kupiga kura. Wengine tunauliza nini yenye litatusaidia. Kindly please tusaidie vijana wenzetu wenye hawajielewi wapate kufanya nini? Kujielewa. Ningeongea mengi kwa sababu ya muda. I don't want to be mean.
Asante sana. Sophie, then
vijana hoye. Vijana power. Kwanza mimi nataka nishukuru sana vijana kwa kuchukua muda huu kuja katika mazungumzo ya maana sana. Jambo la kwanza, mimi nataka tu kuambia kwamba nobody owes you anything. The moment you get that reality, itakusaidia sana kama kijana. Kwa nini? You come from a very background that nobody knows you. And therefore, you may not expect somebody somewhere to take care of your interests. We've said so many things that we wish that happen in this Kenya we want. and we are reaching a conclusion and agreeing on how do we now actualize these things. First of all, I want to agree with those who have spoken before me kwamba you need to take action. Saizi Kenya sahii vijana lazima ujitume, na kwa kujituma lazima uwe pia na strategy ya kujituma. You cannot just wake up and begin kujituma. Tumesema occupy political parties. Occupy political parties means parties have several opportunities for you to raise your voices. You can go there as a youth leader. Once you are a youth leader in a political party, you will call for any leader. You will have your leaders, especially those who are elected in that political party. You can always get an audience with them. For example, we had an audience with the governor in Bungoma. How did we get that audience? Because we went there as members of UDA. Because any other member, an ordinary member, how will you get a governor? You cannot. So definitely you must get an outfit for you to present yourself. So vijana, mimi niko hapa tu kuwarai na kuwazungumzia kwamba kwa wale ambao hawako katika chama wewe chagua chama yenye unataka. There are almost 99 political parties in this country. So you choose a party where you feel your ideologies are in there. We've always seen in parliament, when policies or laws want to be made, what happens normally? Political parties always retreat. Kuna wale wa the ruling party, kuna wale ile party, maybe the what do we call, the opposition party, wana retreat, then wanakubaliana na wale elected members wao, wanakubaliana how to support that bill. If you're the majority, definitely that bill will go through. If you're the minority, haitaenda mahali popote. Then we've seen how those people from those political parties also get into the various committees. So if you have your own member of parliament who is in the ruling party and gets to a committee, definitely if you go and talk to him that we want so and so, as youths of this region, we have this grievance. How do we get it to go to parliament? Definitely he has a say because wao wako wengi, na akiconvince wale wabunge inakuwa rahisi issues za vijana kusail through. So tunamalizia nikisema nini? Vijana, occupy political parties. System lazima ukuwe na party ndio sauti yako isikike. Na unajoin aje political party? Ni *509#. Na wewe tu unaenda pale, unachagua chama yako, na unaingia pale, una raise issues zako, unaenda pale, unaongea na MCA, ana table bill katika county assembly, unaenda unazungumza na mbunge wako, unasema hey MP, mimi kama kijana wa hii mtaa, vijana wanasema wanataka hii. So fikisha hii sauti uko mbele, ifike katika assembly, national assembly, county assembly, na hivyo ndo issues zetu zitasikika. Asante.
Asante sana. Pascal had one thing to say. 30 seconds. Pascal ndio kando yako.
Good morning, or is it good? It's morning still. How are you? Mukopoa? Yeah, so my name is Pascal Benjamin. Apologies, I came a bit late. I've just come from Nairobi and I decided I cannot miss to be here. But while I was on the way, I really had amazing insights from about the Kenya we want from Tobias, Brian, and Marian. Nilikuwa nawasikiza. And there are a few key things that you guys have spoken that is on point. And I would want to challenge as young people to take something a little bit further. What I'll begin by saying is I would love young people to work smart, not work hard. The current situation in this country is no longer working for people who are working hard. What do I mean by working hard? A lot of us tend to believe that proximity to power is power, and that is a sense of false hope. Just because you associate with someone who is in power does not literally mean you are carrying the same power. You are only a person that is going to carry the handbag of that particular person. When that person says jump, you will ask, how high should I jump? And we need to come to that particular point where that same person that you feel they have power almost made it. It appeared to be like so. But do you know that that same bill we protested still was effected? who in politics. So to think smart. One of the biggest problems that we have in Kenya amongst young people is economic empowerment. Because when we don't is economic empowerment. Because when we don't have our own money, we will do anything to get that money, including being used as goons. You guys already know that there is a student who was also organizing other students to go to heckle in a place or even attend. They were used in the bad way. And you know, he mobilized some people for someone to go and attend a meeting. And then he went to ask, now, can you pay us? They told him, no, we can't pay you that much. We are going to give you this. He said, I'm not leaving until you pay me money enough for all these young people. And he lost his life. You see how serious this issue is. The very people that we think we get too close to can help us, can actually turn out and they can take your life any second. So then what do? We need to find avenues on how we create money. And like we have so many organizations. Marion has an organization. You are telling me we can get money so that we begin projects that can empower us economically. When you have money, that's number one. Number two, I have seen Marion here is whenever she goes to funeral, sidhani kama atatoka kwa hiyo matanga kama hajapewa mic aongee. Why? Because she has people who follow her. Because she has something that she speaks, people find it making sense that they listen to her. So you have a following, you have money. When you come into a political party, you are coming as an equal partner on a sitting table. You get? Because these same political parties, when I join in there as a loud person without anything, maybe the best thing I can do is to mobilize. But there are people who join political parties on some particular levels. Kuna watu wanalipa sijui ati gold, platinum, or whatever. So there are some money they're giving, 100,000, something like this, something like that. So you are telling me, who is coming in just with my voice loud, making noise, will be listened kushinda mtu mwenye anapatia party 100,000, 50,000 and all that. Wewe grow, at least uingie kwa party hata toa 20,000. Trust me, they will be calling you for meetings and you'll be giving decisions in those meetings. You get? Now, getting into that particular political party is the step number 2. Step number 3. Tumeshika kadi. Sindio? But at the end of the day, whenever we come to that particular point where we want to vote, the illusion of many of us, when we have that ink on our finger, we usually tend to think that we have voted or we have made a choice. I will tell you, we have not voted. We did not make any choice. What happened is, if you never participated in the political party's primaries, whoever was put on the ballot box on behalf of that party was never your decision. It was a decision that was made for you. So when you look at that person and you are saying, this person, I'm going to elect that person. No, you are only endorsing someone that was already chosen for you. So, as young people, if you are economically empowered, we are into the political parties to some level of extent where we are bringing the influence into it. Then we can look around. Marion, what is her scorecard? Before she ever came in here. This is it. This is it. Belita, this is your scorecard. Peter, this is your scorecard. Then we can actually say, I think we can support this one to go. So you now rally your supporters. The influence you have among many others, bring them together and say, this is going to be our candidate at the primaries in that political party. If she makes it to the ballot box, even when there is another person, trust me, that is when we say we have coastal reform. If nothing like that, we are lying to ourselves. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. The conversation is getting hotter. Sindio? Vijana power. Vijana power. Nilikuwa nataka turudi hii upande, but I just want 2 people to give us their perspective. Because one thing I've not heard, especially from the ladies hapa, how then do we realize our role in these political parties? Because one thing from the conversation we are all agreeing is that these institutions are very powerful. Hata Gen Z wakisema tuzilenge, tutalenga aje hizi institutions kama NYC yenyewe haina structure, si ni ukweli? So these political parties are very key and very instrumental as vehicles zenye zitatubeba in realizing these reforms that we want. One final lady who has something to say. Burning issue, nimekuwa gender bias. Hakuna? Okay, the final person.
Okay, thank you for this chance again. Imekuwa burning issue. So, okay. Okay, again, my name is Joshua Tomulefu, and Busia is my business. So, the second question was how to realize the Kenya we want. And me, I want to pose to all the youths who are in here another question on top of that. Is that are we ready to partake what it entails to changing all we want? That's the biggest question. Because at the end of the day, hata wale wenye wanafanya mambo mabaya, they are so much into the change that everybody is in need of. Kila mtu ukimuuliza, hata mama yangu ukimuuliza, atakwambia, ai, hii serikali hapana, we need change. But when you ask this person, are you ready to partake what it entails to change this country? It becomes a problem. And this is my question to the youth today, that we are all here to resonate and talk about what we are going to change to make sure that the coming elections or political avenues become a positive vibe to us as youths and to the society at large. So the first thing that I think is something that should be considered basically is civic education. And this is what I tell people when I talk to them. Civic education is not talking to somebody first. Civic education is talking to yourself first. Because I'll give you an example. If I believe that handouts is what is bringing corruption in this country, I should tell myself that I will not partake to handouts. Sitachukua 100 ya 50 ya mtu. Nita stick to my word. Are you ready to do that as a youth? That's the biggest problem. Mimi natamani change, lakini mali kuna naenda mbio sana. Singoji, I have already engaged in corruption. Number 2, on matter civic education, we have such forums like this forum today. How much did it take the energy that was put to communicate to the youths of Busia County about this engagement? Because for me, this engagement should have been something for all the youths of Busia County. Should have been something that hapa kungekuwa na empty chairs. Watu wangekuwa wamesimama kwa dirisha. If we are really ready to partake by what it entails saying change. Because hii kitu ni smart. We are here. We have panelists. We have everything. But how many people are in here? How many youthful aspirants are in here? That's the biggest question we should be asking ourselves. So, when it comes to civic education, number 1, we are here, but we've already failed. To be personal, we have already failed. We could have done better than this, because this information is very sweet. We need to listen to it. Everyone of us should listen to this information. Okay, something that pia walikuwa wamesema about political parties. Ni ya mwisho, najua umeamuka. About political parties, I think I have a contrary, and this contrary comes with a solution that I think, because if we talk of bad leadership, where are these bad leaders in? They're in these political parties. They are the kingpins of these political parties. How are we going to make sure that we are getting into these political parties to change? Because lazima tuingie kwa hizi political parties venye tumesema, it's the ship to sail us through the political schemes, ndio? But how are we going to make sure that we are effective in these political parties, that the same leaders who we are crying are the leaders of these political parties? Now that becomes a problem. And this is the solution that I thought. It's an idea that I thought as a youth who is trying to become the governor of Busia County. These political parties are there and they are ours. The basic way that we are going to do is, let's not join any political party. Mimi nataka ugavana. Me, I'm engaging a lot of aspirants in Busia County. Why don't we as youths sit down and decide, sisi tutaki hii chama, ama sisi tunaingia kwa hii chama, so that from today, hii chama itakuwa ina dictate terms za youths. it will be a very easy thing. Me, I'll give you an example of Sifuna. Sifuna was a youth in ODM. Mbona alitoka? Kwa sababu hukuwa na watu kama yeye wa kupigania yeye. So we can fight these fights when we are many in those political parties. If we engage, we'll get a solution. Thank you very much.
Very much. Spei mtu ameshaongea na sahi na kusimamia na microphone. 1 minute.
Hi, I'm Miss Mo. I'm Governor Gen Z. History ya sisi natumaliza. Ni about you and what you want for yourself and then for the Kenya that we both want. Ama we all want. Saizi, like the Busia situation, tunakuja kama mbogi, tunapatiwa token and then tuna cause havoc. Story ya sisi. Mimi kama na join ODM ni because of Miss Monda ku join ODM. And why am I joining ODM? Not because umesema to join ODM. So ukianza kuangalia hizi ma story, talk as an individual as we cascade it to the larger audience. That is my opinion. And then about public participation, like Marian had alluded to. What are you bringing to the table? Unakuja like kwa hii table unaleta nini? Why are they calling Miss Mo and not Caribbean? Why are they calling Miss Mo and not Pascal? Because at the end of the day, they won't call you kujaza numbers. Some of us tukiambiwa tukuje participation, tunauliza tunapatiwa how much. We can't come just because we want to create change, to bring change that we want to see. The documents are big, like the budget document. Let's say the CFSP. Ikiongelea story ya my youths. Mara mingi inakuja maybe 1M. Hiyo 1M hata haikuwa accounted for, maybe imeenda kwa sports. Na hiyo sports imeenda kwa wazee kwa county government. Hata sio my youth. By the time my youth wanagundua kama the money was there and spent, ishakuwa spent. So at the end of the day ni kujituma, kujitolea bila kujali what you get at the end of it. 1,000 should not dictate how your life will be at the end of the day. I'd rather go there for free, give my opinion, bring impact that will see a better Busia County, a better Kenya, than take that 200 and mess the entire generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Iko burning issue hapa ya mwisho. But now we only have 6 minutes to wind up. The last one.
Good afternoon, the young people from Busia. And today we are talking about how we want to use these political parties as platforms for reforms. And the hashtag for today is to participate. And once we join these political parties, we are not just joining to be part of them. Make sure you are able to have influence in these political parties. You are able to make a decision in these political parties. That's why Ms. Mo was saying, why are they not calling on Frida? Why are they calling on you? Because there is something that you can bring in these political parties. And as we say, this nomination, we nominate the people that you want on the ballot. And it starts by us who are in the political parties. So as we do the nomination, when you are part of this political party, you are able to nominate the leader that you want. This leader is able now to go to be elected and going to represent us in the parliament. At the parliament level, you find like most of the people in the parliament, they are going to make decision on how the political parties has decided. Once you had done a good nomination of a good leader under the political party which you are in, we are able to come up with the leaders that are going to align with what the youth wants, and also get to a political parties that aligns with your aspirations and your goals, that are going to channel and advocate for youth rights and their purpose. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 30 seconds, please.
Thank you. For the sake of peace, I'm kujitetea. Okay. So, good afternoon, guys. My name is Ezekiel. I'm from Ocholia, the native area where I come from. And my main point that I had been insisting on, nimebeba mkono for 3 hours, but we have been here for 1 hour anyway. But one thing that I could have said, according to what I'm thinking as a youth, as a young person is coming up, is that tungetafuta mbinu ya kushikilia hawa politician in a way that they cannot say anything. You know, we have given politician power because we are giving them a lot of benefits around them. To work on a domo, want to manipulate because of money. Are you getting that? So as young people, we should look for a way whereby politician akikopea so unamwambia what is that? Sidio? Whereby politician akikopea so unamwambia what for? Are you getting? Because we are giving these people a lot of power because the salary is there. They are stealing our money. They are using our money to bribe us again to vote them in. So we are making this thing look like a business thing. Umeona? No maana politician anakuja na domo, ana invest, ana mwaka dogo kwa kila mahali. At long last, anajua ataenda kuja kuiba. We must be there. We must watch what are they doing. Are we really going to have a Kenya that is full of hypocrisy, full of pride and corruption and all those of things, bila kuangalia on our own personal needs that we have as youth? So my leader is there. Say hi to him. Mnamuona huyo? Chairman wangu huyo. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. I know you people have a lot to say. I know this is a conversation we could take a whole day. Tuende break, turudi, tuendelee kuongea, si ndio? Lakini because of time and because we also have to go to Vihiga kupanga. Nikikupea microphone kila mtu wa burning issue atataka. Sasa wacha tu nitarudishia chairman na introduce watu wake. I want to thank you all, the audience. Najua kuna watu wawili watatu na wafinyia nje na burning issue, wako wapi? Hakuna, si ndio? Aki hakuna woye. Aki msikwe nayo. Aki msikwe na. Chairman, sunipe tu dakika 5 tafadhali. Dakika 5 inatosha watu watatu. 30 seconds na 30 seconds hapo mbele. Kindly, dakika 5.
Thank you. I'm Hiram Nixon from Kakamega, and excuse those speaking, please. I'm Hiram Nixon from Kakamega, and what I will urge my fellow youths is that the only solution we have, where we can have our starting point, is to join the political parties, because it's where the decisions are made. And when you join a political party, it doesn't mean that you have to go and vie for a position, or you have to go look for a governorship or whichever position, but you can be in very effective party structures so that you can influence the policies, because that is where the point that discussions are made, where the decisions are being made. The key point is you join a political party, you'll be part of the engine that makes decisions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a very heavy point. Karibu tuifungie nje.
Okay, asante. Wanzara Joseph, kijana ya hapa Nambale. So my friend here kwa kona, I guess sijui kama ni mind reader ama he has spoken a very valid point, and that was my view also. Hapa nje mostly unapata hawa jamaa wanakuja, kitu mimi naona ni kama wanatuenjoy ama kuna venye wanatuchezea. So in as much as we are striving to join these political parties, I was just asking myself a question here. Can't we have our political party as youth? Can't we have our own? It's not a must we join theirs. Sindio? We can have our own. We have our own movement. We have our own party. We have our voices that can be heard through ourselves. Sindio? Asanteni sana.
Wow, vijana power. Vijana power. Tunamalizia hapa.
I just wanted to clarify on what I said. We need political parties. They're important. Our fathers fought for that with sweat and blood. But we also need a board to keep these political parties on check. We need political parties to put our leaders there. We need young leaders in those political parties. We need young leaders who will be governors and MCAs and MPs. But we also need a board like the NOIC to raise our concerns to those parties, to the government. And we need the political parties to help us push that. I'm not advocating against political parties, but we need an independent board for the youth. Yes, we need political parties, but we also need an independent board.
I'm sure watu wa So as we finalize, nataka tu kupea our pan.
Okay, for me, I would say, young people, if we do not organize, we are going to be antagonized. That means if you're not going to unite ourselves, if you're not going to coordinate very well in groups, if you're not going to join political parties, we are going to be taken as victims, you're going to be taken as enemies, and you're going to be victimized. So young people, join these political parties and to make sure that we are participating in those political parties, because power responds to power. You may be there, you are saying that you're leaderless, but there are some people who are sneaking in to eat that money because they are pretending to be your leaders. So join political parties and speak what you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. In a nutshell, I could say that as youths, the most important thing is, are we empowered economically? Because sometimes we feel that these political parties are far much above us because of the lifestyle we see. So most of us, we're jobless. Have a plan. Be creative and innovative. Have organizations. Don't work as a solo man. Work with an organization. Through that organization, you will have power to speak and to be heard. After that, align yourself with the political party of your interest and channel all the Kenya you want into that political party. And all those things will constitute to the manifestos that now will be implemented once the leadership comes in place. Thank you so much. I love you all.
There's so much power in political parties, and as young people, if we ever want to have a consequential vote, let's get into the political parties, because by the end of the day, who makes government? It's political parties. By the end of the day, we are speaking about education, we are speaking about jobs, healthcare being expensive, but where are policies made? They're made in parliament, and those in parliament are political leaders coming from political parties. So tuingie chama, there's so much power in political parties, and that is where decisions, policies, and our voices will have a consequential effect. Asante.
Thank you very much. One, to our panelists, this has been a very powerful conversation. To our audience, asanteni sana for being very proactive. Mpaka imebidi tuombe extra time. But I believe this is just the beginning. Next time we'll have enough time to hear views zenyu wote. Asanteni sana. I want to give this mic back to our chairman of Busia cohort so that aendelee na program. My name is Joy Shama. I've been your moderator for the day. Thanks.
Vijana power. Power. That is the energy I wanted when we started, but it tells me something.